Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unfiltered Imposed Opinions, where I'm Drew.
And that would make me be.
And this is Season 2, Episode 8. It is Part 2 of our Top 50 Horror Movies. We left you guys off with number 25, which was House of a Thousand Corpses. We had B talking a little bit about it. He wanted to go a little bit more in depth. So without further ado, I give you B.
Hey, you beautiful buttholes.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually just rewatched this because I knew this was the one that we were going to start with. So I watched this, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell last night or the night before. Maybe it was a combination between the 2 days.
Okay.
But House of a Thousand Corpses is one of Rob Zombie's films. It's a fantastic movie, fucking gorier than shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the first one in the trilogy of House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Hell from 3 is the last one that he had came out with.
Three from Hell.
3 from Hell. What did I say, Hell from 3?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm dyslexic a little bit anyways. So
One subplot in House of a Thousand Corpses involves the father of one of the kidnapped victims coming in search of his daughter, along with some local police. At its core, a story of family. House of a Thousand Corpses sports a cast of twisted individuals who each throat slash or chest stab add bodies to their sick human menagerie. Menage
Menage a trois.
Menagerie. There you go. Wow.
All right.
Human menagerie. That's a cool word. That should be a band name. Came out April 11th, 2003. Sid Haig just passed away, last year?
Yeah, he actually passed away while they were making Three from Hell.
Yeah. Of course, Sherry Moon Zombie. She's in every fucking Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah.
Because she has to make a bunch of money off of her ex-husband.
No, they're still married.
Current. They were on and off for a while. I knew that. Always reading shit about that stuff. Yeah, good movies. Very gory.
Very
movies.
good movies. Very gory. Very good. Very just fucking weird, but in a good way.
Right. We have number 24, which is Stephen King's Rose Red. You ever seen this movie?
I want to say that I have seen this movie. I have not seen it recently, so I do not remember it.
I remember this movie because it used to be one of my favorite horror movies. So
Horror.
It takes place in basically like a haunted mansion. There is a little girl who I'm trying to remember her name. Cast. We'll go to cast. Yeah, Kimberly J. Brown plays in Halloween Town.
Oh, okay. Yep.
She plays the little girl.
How much for the little girl?
She's a telekinetic.
Oh, all right.
And it opens up with her. She gets bit by their neighbor's dog, and she fucking draws the neighbor's house on a piece of paper and starts just like coloring brown. And then out of nowhere, these stones just start fucking breaking their house and shit like that.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so they find out that she's a telekinetic and everything. And this Nancy Travis, she plays the teacher at a professor at a college who talks about paranormal, and it's been her dream to go to Rose Red. And she wants that little girl to go to see if she could give like a supernatural uproar. This movie is a very long movie. I think it's right around clocks either at 3 or 4 hours long. Now, I did not know this, but it actually started out as a TV series It was 4 episodes, and each episode I think was like right around 45 minutes long. So it's right
That
around like
makes
that
sense.
4-hour mark. Rose Red is a television miniseries, scripted by horror novelist Stephen King. Unsurprisingly, the supernatural finds them, and one by one they begin to go missing as the horror ensues. The 2002 miniseries was written by Stephen King and directed by Craig Baxley. It's a good. You can probably get it as a movie on a DVD now, but it was a miniseries, so a good show, I guess. But I consider it a movie.
Good soup.
Yeah, they bring in a lot of these special people. Like one guy can like see the dead, and there was like he was like a medium, and then just a bunch of different people that have like supernatural powers. They bring them to get an uprising out of this mansion, and then they eventually kill whatever was driving it. So
Nice.
next on the list we have Halloween 2.
So when we say Halloween 2, we mean the direct,
The original sequel,
the direct sequel from
1981.
From the original Halloween. Honestly, I think this one's actually a little higher on my personal list, but like we said, we kind of did like a collective list between Drew's list and my list.
Mm-hmm.
This one for me would be a little higher on my list, just because I really enjoyed these two movies.
Yeah. In a continuation of the plot of Halloween, Michael Myers shows off his indestructibility by resuming his murder spree despite being gunned down with 6 bullets in the original ending. Based on his appearance in 1981's Halloween 2, Michael stands over 7 foot tall and has received the ultimate treatment with over 25 points of articulation and tons of accessories. After Dr. Loomis shoots Michael Myers numerous times, him and Laurie Strode are horrified to see that Michael has survived and fled the scene, which was the end of the first one.
Correct.
Most of this movie takes place at the hospital.
Yeah, where Laurie
Strode.
Laurie gets taken.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does take place mostly
Haddonfield Hospital.
Haddonfield. Very good movie. Very good sequel.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Moving on. Number 22 is Friday the 13th, the remake. So I believe that one came out. No, I think it was 2009. 2009 or 2010.
2009.
Okay, I thought so. This is...
I like this one.
Yeah, I like this one actually a lot. So maybe I should have put this a little higher on the list. But here's what it is.
This one...
This was just a kind of rough throw together list, guys. We didn't we put some effort into it, but
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. There's a few of them that we obviously would shuffle
so
around.
far.
Yeah. This one, it was very good. I liked the acting. I really liked. The only thing I did not like.
I did not know that Jared
Jared
Padalecki
Padalecki. Yeah.
played in it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to go rewatch it
Yeah, Jared Padalecki plays.
because I did not know who
That's
that
actually
was
one of the
until
reasons.
I started watching Supernatural.
That's
years ago.
one of the reasons why I actually liked this one a lot more, because I like Jared Padalecki.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I did not like about this one is that Jason kept like a hostage.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of stupid.
Motive.
No, it's not his MO.
His forte.
Yeah. So that was the only thing that I didn't like about this movie. Other than that, I thought it was fantastic. I thought the kills were great. Whoever played Jason in this one, I'm not 100% sure. I think it... Was it Kane Hodder? Give us a second. I'm really curious on who played Jason.
Derek Mears.
Derek Mears. Okay. Well, he did a very good job.
Mears.
I just really it was weird because Jason was like a little like you seen him kind of not necessarily run, but kind of like move a lot faster than what he normally would in this one.
So this won the Teen Choice Awards for Best Horror Thriller Movie in 2009.
Horror.
And also the MTV Movie Award for Best Villain goes to Jason Voorhees in 2009.
Nice. Because Jason Voorhees is the fucking man.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. Yeah, it was a really good movie. Obviously, if you have seen one or multiple of the Jasons and you haven't seen this one, it's pretty much the same premise. Kids go to. It's not exactly the same. Actually, it's not about like counselors going to like camp. It's actually just like this kid has his father has like a lake house in Camp Crystal Lake. So it does still take place in Camp Crystal Lake. That's realistically about the only I think like one of the only things that's still like the same, because I don't know if in the beginning they talk about like Jason dying or anything like that.
No, I don't believe so.
I was gonna say I don't.
I think the narrative of the movie is just kind of assumed that you know that Jason's a killer,
right? Yeah.
And it's kind of just like
we're
past all that.
Yeah, we're past telling you.
It's just Jason's in the fucking woods.
Yeah, Jason's gonna fuck some people up,
and they reopen Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember. I haven't watched this in a while.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not one of my favorite. It's not like probably like top 5 of the movies out of them. This one falls in, but it's probably like that 5th one. So I don't watch.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't watch this one a whole lot.
Yeah,
but like I own every one of the Jasons on DVD, so I watch them regularly. I actually just watched number 4. I think like a few days before. I watched House of 1,000 Corpses and stuff because I was trying to freshen up on a few of these for you guys. So, moving on. That is a really good one. I do recommend also watching that. Drew can actually take over in the next one because I don't think I've watched this.
No. You never seen this?
I don't think so.
Number 21 is Sleepy Hollow. This movie came out in 1999, stars Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci. It is more so a thriller. It is about Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman. It was actually one of the first thriller movies that I liked and enjoyed as a kid. Believe it or not.
I'm not going to say that
we watched it in school.
I'm not going to say that I haven't watched it. I'm going to go with I don't remember it.
Ooh, Sleepy Hollow was released with the box office success and critical acclaim, grossing roughly around $206 million worldwide. Won an Academy Award, 5 Satellite Awards, and 2 British Academy Film Awards. This was directed by Tim Burton. So,
all right. Tim Burton is another fantastic director. Love him. Yeah. And most of his movies that actually any movie that I've ever watched from Tim Burton, I can say that I have not disliked.
Yeah, so the synopsis for you and for everybody listening. Ichabod Crane is sent to Sleepy Hollow to investigate the decapitations of 3 people, with the culprit being the legendary apparition, the Headless Horseman.
I mean, I know
who is played by no one other than Mr. Why can't I think of his name? He's in my head.
But he doesn't
have a head.
Christopher
Walken. Well, he
Nice.
does. They explain.
Yeah. I know the gist of the Headless Horseman.
Yeah, so good cast too.
Good soup.
Richard Griffiths, who played in Harry Potter.
Johnny Depp,
Christina Ricci, Miranda Richardson. Yeah, good cast. Good soup. Number 20. Getting into the top 20. This is another one I'm not sure if I've seen or not. Lights Out.
This is
Lights Out. So This is a movie Brandon would probably not watch.
Oh, so it has to probably deal with demonic depression. Yeah,
Demonic depression, right?
demonic depression.
This movie came out recently. It was actually like 6 years ago. It's 2016. Lights Out is a descent film. If you feel the need for a dash of supernatural horror but don't expect anything to stand out, it just doesn't deliver enough of an impact to make it memorable. A few years back, a short horror film called Lights Out became a viral sensation, with many holding it up as a masterful example of how to instill fear in an audience with a limited time frame. Lights Out originally ran longer and had another ending where Diana returns, which is rendered into Sophie's sacrifice pointless. Test audience hated this epilogue, so it was trimmed to the current version. So this movie, realistically, it's not so much I mean, it's supernatural, but it's not like demonic.
Mm-hmm.
It's an entity, which is like more so like a ghost or something.
Right.
That, you can only see in the dark. So
Nice.
if you like shut the lights out, you'd see him walking, and if you turn it on, he wouldn't be there.
Oh, was
And
this
then if
about
you,
the
like-
kid?
Yeah.
The preview that we watched.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh no! That was a different one. The one that I showed you last week. That was a different movie. That was a movie that Vea watched. I didn't even watch it. That was Play With Me, about the little autistic kid. And
That was
thing lives in
creepy.
his tablet. Yeah.
That was creepy. I didn't like that.
Yeah. No. This is to give you the gist. I'll kind of spoil a little bit for you. And sorry if you guys haven't watched it, but I can give them a little more insight. There's a little girl and an older girl. They're sisters, and the older sister takes the little girl from their mom because their mom is a little bit mentally psychotic. Come to find out that she is also being haunted by this thing that actually used to be her childhood best friend and was tortured, and she didn't say anything about it, and she was the only one that knew. And
all right.
so
Well,
the gist of the whole living in the dark thing, that's why she only comes in the dark.
right.
Fucking creepy, definitely. But it's not demonic.
Hey,
so much,
asshole,
it's just,
since you're able to text me, you can get on here and talk to us, you dick.
who's that?
Chrissy. She
Oh,
she
yeah, that's
texted me demonic depression.
Nice.
Go fuck yourself, buddy. At least you're listening. Thanks for listening.
Demonic depression. I have demonic depression.
Demonic depression. I also have demonic
Good
depression.
movie, guys. If you haven't seen Lights Out, definitely I recommend.
I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna have to watch it as well.
Number 20. So moving on to, you can do 19.
So
19 together.
18. I was gonna say 18 and 19 can go together. There's actually a few of these in
Yeah, quite a bit.
yeah, there's a couple. No, actually, I was just looking at it real quick. There's not quite a bit, but there's a couple of them that we can
7 and
actually do
8
together.
Is
17, yeah, so 18 and 19 is Friday the 13th, part 7 and 8. 7 is New Blood, I believe, and part 8 is Jason Takes Manhattan. I just really think that these two are my two favorite
New
personally.
Blood.
I think that they're the best two because I think just
So,
one,
number
Kane
7
Hodder.
was the start of Kane Hodder.
Yes, Kane Hodder plays him. I think Kane Hodder is the best.
So it's
In
the
my
start of
opinion.
Kane Hodder era and Jason films as the role
Right.
of Jason Voorhees, as he repeated the role 3 more times until the infamous Jason X. Ultimately, the film would go on to gross a total of $19.1 million at the U.S. box office, placing it number 53 on the list of that year's top earners. Friday the 13th, Part 7, New Blood. Jason has been at the bottom of Camp Crystal Lake, laying dormant. In New Blood, a telekinetic teenager releases him and must find a way to stop him.
Correct.
Is that fair?
I was literally gonna say that,
Oh,
but
go ahead.
You're good.
God,
And then
your opinion about it
my opinion on
number
seven
Yeah.
is fucking awesome. I love this movie. Like I said, 7 and 8.
and the kid,
The kid
the
is an asshole.
telekinetic kid, is he?
No, she. It's a she.
Oh, it's a she.
No, she's Tina, I believe is her name in that movie. And they go back and with a like her doctor and stuff like that, try to find out like how she has these powers. Doctor's a dick, whatever, regardless. Either way, watch it. Really good movie. Number 8 is also a very good movie. It actually kind of starts off similarly to number 7.
With the telekinetic kid.
No, with him being in the same lake.
Did
because
she
at
die?
the end of... No, she doesn't die. Shut the fuck up.
Watch fucking movies and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, watch the fucking movies and shut the fuck up. Number 8, it starts off similarly. Instead of him being telekinetically brought back, he is actually brought back by a fucking anchor catches like a electric line and he's laying on top of it and it gets broken. He gets electrocuted, blah, blah, blah. That's how he gets brought back. I won't spoil anything else for anybody, but then he ends up getting
A raging boner.
Yeah, he ends up getting a raging boner, and he can't satisfy it because he doesn't have a dick, because he's just pretty much like bones at this point.
With a hockey mask.
With a hockey mask. No, it's I just think Kane Hodder is he is absolutely my favorite Jason. I think he just does a very good job. Not that the other ones didn't do a good job.
He's going to be at Steel City Con yet again.
I know, and I think we're definitely going to try making it to that one, because I would love to meet Kane Hodder and have him sign my jersey that I have.
You should get a mask.
I mean, I will.
Have signed both of them.
I'll have them sign both of them. I will literally put those bitches in a fucking... No, I'm not going to do that.
In a shadow box.
Yeah, I will fucking put them in like an actual...
Get a machete from Harbor Freight, beat it up real good.
I'm thinking if I take a machete to Comic-Con, they might be concerned.
Don't get it signed. I'm saying put it in the shadow box.
Oh.
Beat it up a little bit and put it in the shadow box. You know?
Okay, I was going to say, I don't think I can get that signed.
A machete.
A machete. Both of those very good movies. Like I said, they're my absolute favorites in the entire series. Definitely give it, if you don't want to watch any other ones, then at least watch those ones. Moving on to number 17, which is Insidious. Drew can take it from here because I don't think I've watched this.
Insidious is a film series. There are 4 of them, and I think they're coming out with chapter 5. Me and my wife started watching these. Really good. As former serial killer and malevolent spirit, Parker Crane was one of the most powerful entities of the Insidious series.
Insidious.
Parker Crane was actually a man dressed as a woman. Very, very... he was a former serial killer and a malevolent spirit. With spine-tingling soundtrack, creepy images, and refreshing lack of blood, Insidious has a hugely frightening horror movie fare that will thrillingly haunt you when the lights go out. The main demon antagonist is a little kooky, although depending on its audience, it'll definitely inspire a new unintentional laughs. So, this movie is full of jump scares.
Great.
Yeah, so it's it'll grab you when you're least expecting it. It's fucked me up quite a few times. Me and Haley really enjoy these films. They have a good following. The series is Lynn Shay, she's the old lady that comes into the first one. She's basically also like a medium, where they go into basically what's called a further. They call it the further. Their son, the main people's son in the first one, goes into a coma. It's basically because he's a dream walker, which he goes into the further, and whenever you go into the further and dream walk, essentially, you open up your body to spirits, and that's how they can essentially possess your body. So they see this and come to find out that the father, also did it when he was a kid, and this the lady, Elise, she's the main character, or she's that medium lady, played by Lynn Shay. She also helped him when he was a kid, and then it's weird the way the series goes. It actually goes back in time
instead of forward,
and shows you how everything comes to be.
So they're like, instead of sequels, they're prequels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good films.
Good soup. I definitely haven't watched any of those. I'm not saying that I wouldn't. Might have to give them a try.
Yeah, they're good. What number are we on?
What? Number 16. Back to Jason a little bit, but number 16 is Freddy versus Jason. This movie, I think, was phenomenal for a few different reasons.
The special effects on it were fantastic.
The special effects were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
The fact that they brought two franchise killers together
in a way that you wouldn't even expect.
Yeah, in a way that you wouldn't even expect was fucking phenomenal. We have said for years, ever since that they've made this, I know I have, you have, a few of the other ones who watch like the horror genre would also like to see like a Jason versus Michael. I know we've been talking, and there's fan films and stuff like that on Facebook and stuff where people have done them, and I will say that a couple of them actually weren't bad.
Yeah.
But for someone to actually make a Jason versus Michael, I think would be fantastic. Freddy versus Jason, though, it was just, there was the comedy, there was the one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
But then you had the fucking gore from both Freddy and Jason. Like, it just was... It was like a non-stop just steamroller of either action, horror, thriller, and comedy.
And spoiler alert, but I like how they face each other in each other's realms.
Yes.
So
I did like that. I didn't... One of the things that irritated the fuck out of me was when Freddy got brought into
the real world.
How Are we here?
Yeah, we're
we
back.
here?
There we go.
Okay. Technical difficulties, guys. Listen, just fucking bear with us.
My mic came unplugged and it kind of fucked everything up. So
yeah, see, he's a dingus. He's fucking shit up. What I was saying before I would rudely interrupted.
That's fair.
I just didn't like the fact how Freddy still like fucked Jason up so much when he was in his world. Like when Freddy was in Jason's world. But
yeah,
it was still a very good movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of it.
I think I kind of agree with you there, but my biggest thing is like I don't understand how he kept his powers coming into the real world.
Right. That's what I mean. Like how.
Yeah. It was a little confusing.
Yeah, it was. It was a little weird towards the end, but
wasn't there a Jason movie that ended where you knew that this was happening? Like Freddy's
Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay, yeah.
Which was actually the last one
before this one.
No, Jason X, I think, was the last one before this one. No, when did this one come out?
Played Jason in this one.
When did this one come out?
This one came out in 2003.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, this one, like, you knew after Jason Goes to Hell, you kind of knew that Freddy was going to be thrown in somehow.
Yeah,
because his hand at the end of that one, his glove comes out and grabs. And actually, what's really cool is that Kane Hodder did the hand for Freddy's mask.
Nice.
Little
Jason's mask.
Yeah,
Freddy's
hand to Jason's mask and pulled it under. Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one I really did like this one. It was a really good movie. It was a good premise of bringing two very huge franchise serial killers together
to kind of bring everything back.
To kind of like duke it out. It was really cool. I liked it.
Number 15.
Yes.
Number 15 we put on the list is Halloween Kills, which was released last year, right around Halloween.
This was actually the second installment of the remakes from Halloween 40 years later.
Mm-hmm.
This follows directly after that one.
Mm-hmm. Like, really directly, immediately after.
Immediately after that one. This one was just the opening scene.
The writer of the upcoming Halloween sequel, Halloween Kills, has teased the follow-up will be even scarier than 2018's smash hit reboot. The film wrapped up filming back in November of 2019. The anticipated Halloween Kills sequel was delayed by a whole year due to the coronavirus pandemic, just as director John Carpenter promises the movie will have its highest kill count. So he did come back to do these.
Oh yeah, and this one was fucking brutal. Like the opening scene of it is just fucking brutal. There was actually a bunch of people who were so like fucking upset and blah 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 about it because that's the world that we live in today.
Overall, it sounds like Halloween Kills is going to be like a horror version of Avengers: Infinity War, where various characters attempt to take down an extremely powerful foe. A lot of people returned from the original Halloween movies. So there was the nurse. There was
Tommy Doyle.
Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
Lonnie, get your ass away from there.
So me and B both kind of agree that there was a whole section of this movie that probably could have done without. And that was the whole scene of at the hospital whenever they thought that it was Michael, but it was actually the other guy that escaped.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird. That part was just...
The only thing that I kind of... I'd say that I like about it is the fact that the meaning of it is literally if you have enough people saying something,
they'll believe it, and it becomes like
and the thing
true.
I think is like that's so much stuff, especially like with the media today and everything, of how if you have mass hysteria and you have enough people saying bullshit about something,
it becomes true.
It becomes true
because people believe it, right? And I mean, realistically, it was a very good way to describe that. So I will say that for that point of view, it was excellently done. I don't think it was something that needed to be put in this movie.
That's fair.
Because I just don't see how it had any part of what was going on.
Yeah.
So
I also it was probably like filler because it was a good like 25 minutes of the movie. So
right, and it was a good like fucking at least 20 minutes.
And they needed
there was also
like a deterrence because they said that a second person escaped,
right. Well, there was also the one part. This is the one part where they were in the hospital and they were like sitting there like just Lori and the cop were fucking yakking back and forth and yada yada yada, and it was just like Jesus Christ, just.
And she's like, hit me with that needle one more time.
Yeah,
she gets up out of bed.
Right. So I mean, yeah, like there was a few parts of it that I wasn't a huge fan of, but at like the movie overall was fucking excellent. Loved it. I was happy. I'm pretty sure they're coming out with another one.
Halloween.
I think
Halloween
Ends.
Ends.
I think if this isn't the last one, I think there's going to be one more, but I'm pretty sure this is the last one.
I'm sure it is. I did like the CGI they did with Dr. Loomis. Great. They did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Since, the actor
Obviously.
that played him passed away.
Donald Pleasance is no longer with us, unfortunately.
Fun fact. Well, we'll get about that whenever we get to that. But they did a great job on this movie. I really enjoyed it. My favorite part is whenever he goes into the house of the old people.
Yes.
And he goes into the bathroom. And Michael's standing in the bathroom. He turns the light on and he breaks the light. And he's like, there's a big motherfucker in the bathroom. And he's wearing a monster mask.
Yeah. That is two of the also most gruesome kills in the series, in the movie. But that is the funniest.
Spoiled a little more for you guys.
A little more.
But you want to live it for yourself. You watch it. It's
I will say this one is a must-see. I would definitely encourage you to go watch this one. It was a very good movie.
Yeah.
Moving on, number 14. It is another Halloween, but this one is the Rob Zombie's first one that he came out with. The Halloween that he remade. I loved this movie, one, because of who directed it. I will blow smoke up Rob Zombie's ass any day of the week because, and it's not even blowing smoke. It's just just realistic because he is just a phenomenal director. So
I liked this movie for many reasons. One, I liked how it told a little more about Michael as a kid.
Yes.
I liked that they brought Jamie back to play in the movie, even though it wasn't her original role.
Correct.
It was just nice to see homage to it, as well as Mr. Charles Lee Ray himself.
Yeah.
Played Sheriff Brackett.
Yes, he did.
Another little homage. I was glad to see that Rob Zombie got him to play in because I haven't really seen him play in much, obviously, other than the Child's Play movies. But he's a great actor.
Yes, he is.
He's a great actor.
He did a wonderful job playing Sheriff Loomis.
Sheriff Brackett.
Sheriff Brackett. What the fuck? This is my life.
To me, Doc, it sounds like you're talking about the goddamn Antichrist.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So, the only thing that I don't like about this is I don't like Malcolm McDowell. I think he played a terrible Dr. Loomis. And the reason why I say that is because it seemed like he was all about the fame and the writing of the book.
In the second one.
And all the bullshit.
In the second one, he was.
I did not like the second one, and I will not watch it.
I liked the second one. It was weird.
The whole thing about him having fucking
like the
visions of his mom
like
and shit like that. It was weird.
It was very fucking
and
weird.
Then
I still liked it.
Randomly picked up a car and fucking flipped it and shit. And then there was that one shot of him, like it was like a silhouette of him, and he's just like standing up on the hill, and he looks like this big jacked motherfucker. And I'm like, that's not Michael.
I mean, realistically, Michael was apparently, listen, as the fucking movies went on, he apparently became 8 foot tall and bulletproof. So, I liked the second one. I liked both of them. The second one was very weird. Not one of my favorites.
I did, like I have to say, I did like.
I don't know who the kid is that plays
Diage. I think he's either French or German, but he's a fucking good actor.
Yeah, he is. He's a very, very good. He plays in Hancock. He's the one that the kid, he walks up to Will Smith, and he says something to him, and he takes him up in the air, and he fucking
calls him like a little bitch, or
like
something.
an asshole or something
right,
like that. I've seen him play in a few different movies, and he's a very good actor. He's definitely got a good future. If he keeps on.
I mean, this was 2007. It's now like what
2022.
Yeah. So I'm guessing he's an adult now, but
correct.
They were good. I liked them.
I did.
I like the first one. I'm not a fan of the second one.
I liked both of them. This one I liked more. I thought it was a very.
Danny
I thought it was
Trejo
a very.
plays in this.
Yeah,
movie
Danny
too.
Trejo does play in this.
He plays his little
The security guard.
Yeah.
Well,
his
like
security guard.
custodial security
He
guard.
was like his only friend.
Yeah.
And they killed him.
Yeah.
That was good to you, Mikey.
Yeah, he like drowned him.
You, Mikey.
He like drowned him a little bit, and then he fucking threw the TV on.
I feel like if he would have just walked away,
Yeah.
Michael would have let him go.
Yeah.
Only because he was.
The fact that he tried
Mm-hmm.
cuffing him, putting him back in his room.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than likely why he killed. If he literally would have just turned around and been like, "No, I'm fucking out," Mike
Yeah,
probably
Mike-
would.
he
He
probably
probably would
would've
have been like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But-
Next.
Moving on. Number 13. Get some new stuff in here. These next few are actually different from what we've been. Sorry, we like our stuffs. The next one, number 13, rightfully so, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now,
Which one?
we might be talking about different ones. My favorite one is the one with Jessica Biel. I thought that one was the best one. I liked pretty much every one of them that I've watched.
So this one, the original, was 1974. Is that
Yes.
the one you're talking about?
That one's good. No, I
The
was
one in 2003.
the one in 2003
That's
was the one that I was
talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then we were actually talking about the same
We're
one,
in
which was
agreeance, yes.
fantastic. I thought this one.
What's his name in it? That military guy.
Lee.
You know who I'm talking about.
Lee something.
Yeah. He plays his dad or stepdad or something like that. He's part of his family.
Yeah, he plays as part of his family. He ends up becoming. He kills the sheriff. He becomes the sheriff.
Yeah.
I can't think of his last name. Lee something. He actually just passed away a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. He's another one that just passed away.
Yeah.
not too long ago.
I liked this one. One of my favorite scenes and one of my unfavorite scenes is the same one in this. It's when the dude gets his fucking leg chopped off, and then he takes him down in the basement, puts him on the
Puts
goddamn meat
A
hook,
handful of salt on it.
and
or is it
he
the
puts
meat
a
hook
hand,
that
he
gets
puts a handful of salt on
on
it,
his
and then
leg
he
wound.
grabs the fucking bag and just puts it on. I'm pretty sure there was more salt in the bag, dude.
Yeah.
When I seen that,
I was gonna ask you, was it the salt or the meat hook?
yes, it was the whole fucking dude. Like, first he cuts his leg off, then he puts him on a meat hook, and then he puts salt in his fucking opened.
And then he wears
Stump.
his face.
No, he doesn't wear that one's face.
No. Oh, he wears the one.
He wears
friend's
he wears the
Eric Balfour.
Yeah.
The only one I know that is because it has the mustache and the weird thing. But
correct. Yeah. He wears his face. But it was just very, very gory, awesome movie. This actually is inspired off of Ed Gein, the actual serial killer.
is that true?
I'm almost 100% positive that this was off of.
I thought this was based off of the real Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I'm pretty sure that this was inspired by Ed Gein.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is considered one of the greatest, most controversial of horror films, a major influence on the genre. Despite the film's insinuation, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a true story and events are actually happened. There are shreds of the truth within the movie, as most legends. Texas Chainsaw Massacre followed a young woman named Sally and her brother traveled as an old family. traveled. Why is that written so weird? As they traveled to an old family home in Texas with a few friends. Let's see here.
I'm pretty sure that this was inspired by the actual serial killer Ed Gein, because there was a few. There was actually a few movies that was inspired by it.
Loosely based on Gein and Henley.
Yeah.
So
There's a couple other movies that Ed Gein was.
we talked about a few of them.
Yeah, we did talk about a few of them. You right. Silence of the Lambs was one of them.
And
I don't remember the other one.
Child's Play.
Was
Charles Lee Ray.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one of them. It was one. I don't remember if it was Gein or someone else, but
I don't think it was Gein. Anything that usually has to do with cannibalism, because Ed Gein was a fucking cannibal.
Ooh.
Had to do. Ooh,
That's
I'm
an
the
episode.
cream of the crop.
No, that's an episode we should do, serial killers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're going to do serial killers.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are. Listen, I watch all that shit.
Okay.
Anyways, this Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2003 one, was my favorite. It is not
They have
the
a new
only
one coming out this year, by the way.
Yes, they do, and I will be fucking watching it. In theaters, preferably.
Actually, it's saying that it already came out. It's saying it came out February 18th, 2022.
Whoa, fuck. All right. Well, it's probably not in theaters anymore.
Yeah.
This was my favorite one, and apparently it was also Drew's favorite one. But this was not the only good one. There are other ones that were good. I think I've watched 4. I think there's like 5, 6 of them, something like that. And I know I've watched, I believe, like 3 or 4 of them, and every one that I've watched was really good.
Realistically, I only watched the first one, and it was with you at your house.
That's fair.
But I liked it. I liked it because it was a classic.
Correct. So, yeah, very, very good movies. Definitely check them out. If anything, check out the 2003 one with Jessica Biel in it.
No. I thought we were talking about the next one. Yes, I've watched all the Texas Chainsaw Massacres. Good movies.
Good soup.
Check them all out.
Right. Number 12. This is what you were talking about.
Yes.
You've only ever seen the first one?
I've only seen the first
No
one.
shit, dude. I have all 6 of them on DVD. We'll have to watch them. What we're talking about is Hellraiser. Pinhead. One of the most iconic... I guess he's a serial killer. I don't know.
Okay. The film was originally made under the working title as Sadomasochists from Beyond the Grave. Hellraiser is one of 7 playable classics for the co-op campaign in World War Z. Oh, no shit. The game World War Z, you can play as fucking Pinhead. So
No
that's
shit.
crazy.
That's awesome.
Specifically, one can observe that the pre-camp femininity that distinguishes
We're struggling, guys. Just it's fine.
Pretorius as a queer and shunned aside in the favor of S&M sensibility. That similarly marks the... Gee, what the fuck?
Similarly.
I don't want this person. Fuck you and your reviews. I'm not even reading the rest of it. Fuck you. Big words.
It's because they're smart.
Yeah, I'm dumb. So I guess that's it.
Hellraiser.
In Morocco, Frank Cotton, a sadomasochist, buys a puzzle box said to open the door of the realm of the otherworldly pleasure from a dealer who asks, "What's your pleasure, sir?" In his bare attic when Frank solves the puzzle.
So
There's a
you've
lot of
only seen the first
one-liners.
one.
Yeah, there's a lot of one-liners in this movie.
Yeah, so you've only seen the first one,
Yes.
and the first one was very good.
Mhm.
The other ones,
Start
listen,
of the
they're
series.
all... What's that?
Start of the series.
Well, yeah. They're all very fucking weird movies.
Yeah.
But they're very interesting. The torture is very interesting
Yeah.
in the ways that they come up with doing it. It's not for the light of heart. Do not watch this if you get freaked out easily or like have a weak stomach. Because they're very fucking weird.
Sadomasochists, yeah.
Yeah, so very good movies though. I definitely recommend watch all of them. They're fucked up. You might only make it through like 1 or 2 of them before you're like, okay, I've had enough of this. But
Yeah.
give it a shot.
So
Number 11. I honestly thought that I put this a little further down than it should have been, mainly because it's just such an iconic movie. But there was a few iconic movies that
yes.
we had way down on the list.
Mr. Jack Nicholson.
Mr. Jack
himself.
Nicholson in The Shining is
Mhm.
number 11.
The Shining is in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most retakes of a single scene, with 127 retakes for a scene with Shelley Duvall. Danny Lloyd didn't know he was making a horror movie while shooting The Shining. No shit.
Wow.
That's funny.
How do you not know that?
To get Jack Nicholson in the right agitated mood, he was fed only cheese sandwiches for 2 weeks, which he hates.
Oh, my God. If somebody just fed... Yeah. So, the one... Well... The one scene in Anger Management when he does the head shaking and grinning,
Yeah.
we do that to each other constantly. Well, Drew does it a lot more than
All
I
the
do,
time.
but
I
he
send
fucking
it to
loves it
people
all the time.
in Messenger. Sometimes human places create human monsters. That's fair.
People saying stuff?
Chrissy was, yes.
Oh, Chrissy did.
She started. I was talking back to her.
Oh, okay.
She's still there. Hi.
Oh, hi. Yeah, The Shining was just a... That one is like a very classic movie.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best scenes in it is when he has the axe. It breaks through the door and just yells, "Here's Johnny!"
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good.
So they finally came out with the sequel that he wrote as a book, and they finally came out with the movie, which is Dr. Sleep, that follows Danny,
The
just
kid.
a little boy.
Yep.
It was very confusing to me. And I think the reason why it was very confusing to me is because I haven't watched The Shining in a long time before I watched it.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's probably been 15 years since I've seen that
And me
movie.
and Haley just decided to watch Dr. Sleep around when it came out because it came out during the pandemic as well.
Right.
So we watched that, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is happening?
I don't even understand this movie.
So,
But it was good. It was a good movie.
right. We're probably going to have to rewatch The Shining and then watch that. I haven't seen the second one, the sequel of it.
It's not the original. It's not Danny Lloyd that plays him. It's what's his name? Guy that plays Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can't think of his name either. But
Who does Harrison Ford play?
It's not Harrison Ford.
I always think it is.
Ewan McGregor.
I don't know who that is.
You know who it is. That's Ewan McGregor.
I don't know. Sure. We'll go with that. Either way, I'll definitely watch it. But I want to watch The Shining first before I watch that
That's
one.
fair.
So I'm not as confused as you and Haley was.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Our old friend. Number 10. Breaking top 10 was Friday the 13th, Part 2.
This was an agreed upon. So these top 10 were pretty much on our top 10 personals that kind of matched. Well, like top 20 personals that kind of matched up.
Yeah. I actually tried sticking with both of our top 10s for the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really hard because we had a lot of the, like, not a lot. We had about half of the same movies, and but we had them in such different fucking areas.
Right.
So it was a little bit of a struggle to get them on here, but I did. The reason that I put this one as number 10 is because this is the beginning of Jason as the main
That's the reason why it was
antagonist
one of my favorites,
of the Friday the 13th series.
yeah. Betsy Palmer does come back as his mom in the second one, even though she was technically the main antagonist of the first one.
Right.
Friday the 13th Part 2.
Wait, you said she comes back? She's fucking dead. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, he has.
Oh,
visions
when
about her.
at the end of it,
The actual
right.
actor comes back,
Yeah, I got you.
not the character.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. No, she didn't.
It's a 1981 American slasher movie produced and directed by Steve Miner, and the second installment of Friday the 13th movie series, and a direct sequel to Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th Part 2 is universally adored by fans in the franchise, and the film's true iconic moment is Ginny's encounter with Jason Voorhees in his shack near the end of the film. To save money on renting prototype 3D cameras and to be closer to Paramount's base of operations, Friday the 13th Part 3 moved production to the West Coast. So number 3 was shot in California.
Nice. This is It's just a very iconic movie in the series because it is the first time that Jason is the killer. So it's a very good movie. Watch it.
Yes. Watch all of them.
Yeah, watch all of them.
Why not? You're not doing anything.
Yeah,
It's the summer.
don't fucking do anything. You know, just sit around and watch.
So
some shit.
these are the top 10, guys. I hope you're getting excited because I'm getting excited. We're coming
I
close
also
to
am.
an hour, but we will go quickly.
Yeah. This one actually is one of my all-time favorite movies, just because it's so weird. Number 9 is Maximum Overdrive.
Yes, I love this movie.
Yes, I do. I could watch this movie. This is one of those movies I could watch on repeat.
It gives you that Tremors vibe.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Tremors. That was one of the ones we didn't put on here.
Yeah, that is.
That was a really good, very good
Yeah,
series.
we didn't put The Crow on here either.
I didn't find that like a horror movie though.
Well, I didn't find Tremors is really a horror movie either. That kind of makes me think of like Jurassic Park. So if you're going to consider
That's
Jurassic
fair.
Park a
Yeah,
horror movie,
yeah,
yeah.
that's fair.
Moving on.
Maximum Overdrive was a very good movie. It was about basically machines coming to life because of, I believe it's the clown truck is the one that has like the shit.
Starring Emilio Estevez and Pat Hingle, Maximum Overdrive came out in 1986, and it was written and directed by Stephen King and was inspired by a short story he wrote called Trucks.
That's fair. Very good movie. Definitely go watch it.
Yes, number 8.
Number 8 is Stephen King's It. And by the Stephen King's It, I mean the original Stephen King's It.
Okay. I was talking about both of them. I couldn't really...
I will agree with that. I would say that they're both very good. I've only seen the one part of the new one, but it was a very good remake. I still need to watch the second. I love the original. I think it was very good.
Both series are great in their own. Starting with the original, Tim Curry did amazing.
Tim Curry is fucking awesome. I love
but
Tim Curry.
he was followed up by Mr. Bill Skarsgård, which did a great job himself.
Yes, he did.
He's fucking freaky.
He did a phenomenal job.
Just as freaky as Mr. Curry.
Correct. He did a phenomenal job. Both of them, hats off to them. They both did phenomenal jobs playing Pennywise. Go watch both of them. Watch the original first. They're very long movies. They're actually 2-part movies. I think each of them are like an hour and a half or 2 hours long or something like that. And I think collectively they're like...
So both of the newer ones are 2 hours. So this one's 2 hours and 15 minutes, and the second part's like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
So it's like over
like
4 and a half hours. For the new one. The older one I don't think is as long. I think it's like 3.5 hours
total. Like 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3.5 hours total for the first one. But if you're not doing something on a weekend, definitely watch them. They're good movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Moving on. Number 7, Jaws.
Dun,
Dun 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 dun.
Jaws.
Look
what I did.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
That's where that famous line came from. And smile, you son of a bitch. Two of the most iconic lines from that movie, both said by the same actor. I don't know his name, but he plays
Roy Scheider.
Yeah, and he plays Brody in this movie. Very good movie. This is actually one of the reasons why I don't go into the ocean. I'm not gonna lie, because when I watch this,
Steven Spielberg wrote and directed.
Yeah.
Jaws. Yeah,
I believe
there was a huge attraction down at Universal Studios. Is no longer there. Actually.
No, it is not. But I actually did go on there, and I was on the side of the boat where that mechanical fucking big-ass shark came out of the water and scared the ever-living fuck out of me.
Nice.
It was fucking worth it, but I almost
the final
pissed
shark
myself.
that was used for Jaws. The shark was named after Bruce Raymer, Steven Spielberg's lawyer. It was the first major motion picture that was shot on the ocean, and it was the highest grossing film until the first Star Wars released in 1977. Won 3 Academy Awards, 1 Golden Globe, and 1 British Academy Film Award.
Nice.
I like the Megalodon.
The Meg.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
That was a very good movie.
That's my favorite shark movie. But
Yeah.
Jaws always
Jaws is
holds
mine.
the...
Yeah.
holds the nostalgic.
Oh yeah, Jaws will
Love
always.
in my heart.
Meg was a very good movie. Watch that as well.
Jason Statham.
Jason
dude.
Statham is a fucking phenomenal actor. Yes, Meg was a very good movie. Watch that one too. Watch all the Jaws. There's actually 4 Jaws movies. Watch all of them. They're all very good. Moving on, 5 and 6 are going to be done together, which is back to Halloween 4 and 5. 4 being at number 6, 5 being at number 5. That was actually collective on both of us. We had 5 first.
Mm-hmm.
To me, these were very good movies put together.
Mainly played around Danielle Harris, who played Jamie, which was the niece of Michael Myers, I think.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
She had a psychological
Laurie's daughter.
connection with Michael Myers himself.
Correct.
She could see visions of what he was seeing.
Yes, she could see him killing people. She could feel him killing people.
Yes.
It would
Caused her
send
to
her into
have-
seizures and
yeah.
stuff like that. Very, very good premise of both movies. Very good movies. There's a lot of action in these as well. Not only the horror factor, but the action factor. And in the fifth one, the reason that the fifth one is above me is in the fifth one they start actually like hunting him.
Yeah.
And I really that's kind of cool that they were like, we've had enough.
Had enough.
We're gonna start taking shit.
Same
to our own
basis
hands.
as Halloween Kills.
Correct. But even though that they fail miserably, it was just really cool to see them actually like try. At least you not just stand around and be like, oh, what do we do? They were like, no, fuck this. We're gonna go after him.
Right.
So the very good installments into the franchise.
Yes.
Moving on, number 4, rightfully so, Scream.
Yes.
This is your oldest brother's favorite, oldest brother on this side's favorite series.
It's
Scream.
also Alan's favorite. Alan loves Scream. It's one of his favorite.
AJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
One
That's
of
really weird that you called him Alan.
It's one of his favorite series. He likes this series and Halloween and many others. Like, he's a big horror movie buff too.
Oh,
but
yeah, I know he is. Oh, yeah.
It mainly started with like Scream and some other.
Scream
this
is this one is my favorite just because it's the original. I also like it's either the second or third. I like all of them.
Wes
realistically.
Craven. So
Yeah, this is Wes Craven. Wes Craven did this and Nightmare
yeah.
on
So
Elm Street.
if you're a Nightmare on Elm Street and you want a more modern spin on a slasher, I would watch the Scream series. There's 5 now.
Yeah, they just came out with the newest one.
And,
I haven't seen the newest
number
one.
4 is shit, and 5 is amazing.
You seen the new one?
Mm-hmm. So a big thing about Scream is it inadvertently makes fun of slasher films, like all the characters and everything.
Mhm.
They it's so cliche, blah blah blah, that this would happen in a slasher film as it's happening to them. So
Right.
and then
The
number
ironicness.
5, they start bullshitting about how shitty reboots are, as they're in technically like
A reboot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
That is one thing that I've always appreciated about the Scream movies. They were very good movies. The first one was my favorite because Matthew Lillard was in it, and Matthew Lillard is one of the most underrated actors of our generation, and he needs to be praised on everything that he has done because he is a phenomenal fucking actor. Moving on.
yes.
Number 3, rightfully so, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original.
This, whether you guys know or not, was Mr. Johnny Depp's first film.
Correct. Also, playing Mr. Krueger himself, Robert Englund, which is he did the best. I did not watch all of the reboot to this because I couldn't get into it because Robert Englund didn't play Freddy Krueger.
It was weird.
It was weird. They took like the sarcastic factor out of it, made him more demonic, more serious.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like I get it, he's a killer, stuff like that. But Freddy Krueger, like if you watch this one and all the other ones that Robert Englund had played, you see that sarcastic, just one-liners, like
Yeah, going back to that show that we watched much recently called The Movies That Made Us Horror Edition. We did watch the Nightmare on Elm Street one, and Robert Englund did not really know how to act, and he wasn't really a fan of horror series, although he became like one of the fathers of horror.
Yeah, he became a very iconic.
That is why Freddy is very comedic, because he wouldn't stop cracking jokes to make everybody feel uncomfortable, and they just kind of kept it in the movie.
And he did a phenomenal job. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, sometimes mistakes work.
Oh,
that's as simple as that.
Watch all of them.
Yeah, watch every one of them. There's a reason that this was in the top 3. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Here's something really cool. Johnny Depp's Nightmare on Elm Street role explained. Johnny Depp launched his character with a supporting role in Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street, where he was memorably eaten by a bed.
Yep. The kills in the Nightmare on Elm Street series are so extravagant and so ridiculous. It literally makes it worth watching them. Moving on, though. We are down to the final 2. The final countdown. So, number 2 is Friday the 13th, Part 3.
Do you know why I put this on my list?
Put this one what?
On my list.
The reason I put this one on my list, this is actually the first film that brings in the hockey mask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The iconic hockey mask of Jason Voorhees is actually introduced in this film.
Friday the 13th Part 3 is the second sequel to the cult classic. Friday the 13th was originally intended to be number 3 was originally intended to be the final installment of the series. It was only supposed to be a threequel. Friday the 13th Part 3 is original psychological thriller approach to bringing back Ginny would have made for a great sequel, but the version that was made changed the course of the horror history. One day, Stephen Miner called for a lighting check, but no one wanted to apply makeup for the test, so they just put a mask on Richard Broker, who played Jason on Friday the 13th, Part 3. Introduction of the mask.
Correct.
So, that tells you right there that, once again,
mistakes
make
work.
Yeah.
Sometimes mistakes are for the best.
We could tell you this all day, but just watch all of them. They're good.
Yeah, very good movies.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually my favorite. This actually was my number 1 on my list was 8 and 7 Part. But I do love this because it introduced the iconic Jason Voorhees hockey mask. And number 1.
Now, know, before we even say it, you know that you probably know what it is because we haven't said anything about it yet. And we talk so highly of them, but obviously it is the original Halloween.
Yes. John Carpenter's Halloween, I think it was 78, I believe, is when it was made.
Yes.
1978.
I believe so.
Honestly, Friday the 13th is my absolute favorite series. But collectively, I know Drew likes Halloween a little more. He's still a very big Friday the 13th fan. But we both collectively liked Halloween as much. So,
and one of the reasons why, whether you guys know or not, is I was actually born on Halloween. So
yeah, Drew's birthday is the 31st of October, which happens to fall on Halloween, if you weren't aware and you were living under a rock for your whole life.
Yeah.
So, I was not upset to put Halloween as number 1 because I am a huge fan of all of the Halloween films, as we have said multiple times throughout this list, because we had pretty much every fucking one of them on here.
Right.
And the Friday the 13th. I think the Friday the 13th and the Halloweens, we've had all of them. The only Halloween that I didn't like was number 3 because it was fucking stupid and Michael wasn't even in the goddamn movie.
Yeah.
There was my little bit of a rant. Sorry.
Halloween's iconic floating POV shots were done using a Panaglide camera rig, which was very expensive and hard for them to get.
That was
we found.
I'm pretty sure that was a lot of their budget.
Yeah.
They used it for that.
Halloween was filmed in 20 days over a 4-week period in May of 1978. As the film was shot out of sequence, John Carpenter created a fear meter so that Jamie Lee Curtis would know what level of terror that she should be exhibiting. Netflix has a show, once again, called The Movies That Made Us, and there's a horror movie edition, and this was the number one on there as well. You learn a lot of stuff about this movie from the shortage of pumpkins because it was shot in the
I was
summer.
going to say, one of the things that I did want to mention is we found out that it was shot in the summer, and I believe this was shot in California.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a shortage of pumpkins because it was summertime, and they actually had to, like, go find pumpkins or order pumpkins or whatever, and they had to, like, make sure that the ones that they had were, like, well kept. Like, that was one of the biggest things that they wanted to do, was, like, make sure that these pumpkins were well kept because of the movie.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times they were at the point where they ran out of money. They were trying to find funding. They had to drop, pick up.
Yeah.
It was originally supposed to be called the Babysitter Killings, I think.
Something like that. Something with babysitter in the name. The Babysitter Killer or the Babysitter Killings or something like that.
Great movie. Amazing series. Go watch them. This has been the top 50 of horror movies on Unfiltered Imposed Opinions. Join us next week for we're going to keep it a surprise because mainly we don't know what it is yet.
Right. We haven't come up with it yet, so you're going to know when we fucking know.
Absolutely. We're hitting that mark, so we will see you guys next week.
Follow us on all the social medias, all your podcast outlets. We are going to, I know we always say we're going to try being more active. One of these weeks we actually will be. I know we have done a couple things. We're just really trying to get things in order, being that it's summertime. Drew's got to kind of get his schedule in order with the wife because all the kids are home now. And I just started doing a new job. Start putting out some content here for you, but until then, just hang with us when we get on here, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, be sure to message us. Let us know things you want to hear us talk about. You can
actually, I would actually like
Patreon.
Any of you that have listened to these last two, send us your top 10, 15 horror movies that you guys like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe we'll mention them on some upcoming episodes.
Yeah. So,
or maybe even we'll do a short also, because those shorts are going to be for our Patreons,
which you can subscribe to.
Which you can subscribe to. So definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start getting some of those made up too. We have, I think, 1 or 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll start getting some more of those once you fuckers start, following us. So pitter patter, let's get at her.
We will see you guys next week.
Peace.